This video is cannabis growing edutainment created for viewers aged 18 and over. By continuing to watch, you confirm that you are 18 years of age or older. All activities depicted in this video are conducted in compliance with our laws here in Canada. Oh hey, don't forget to watch to the end of this video for funny bloopers and dumb stuff. Okay, now we know you're a grown-up. Welcome to GrowDaddy TV.
Hey everybody, I'm GrowDaddy, aka Patrick, and welcome to GrowDaddy TV Studios, which you've made it. Yeah, you have. You have made it to Season 10, Episode 12, and we're so happy to see everybody for another weekly update in the Grow Tent. I'm telling you guys, love you guys. For those of you that just got here and are kind of wondering what the hell we're doing here with a couple little plants, well, this is my journal. This is what I do every Sunday morning at 6 a.m. We put up a video for you guys. We like to...
Yeah, it's a little 4-plant Canadian legal grow down here, up here in Canada.
Yeah, we grow 4 legal plants, and that's what we're allowed to do in Canada. And hey, I've got a feeling most of you are doing the same thing, because to be honest with you, I don't need any more than 4, and I'll tell you what, it's a lot of fun just growing 4. It feels a little more like a hobby than it does work. I feel like it would feel a little more like work if I was growing more than 4 plants.
And it's enough for you and your golf buddies.
It is, yeah. I have enough for me. I like to treat my golf buddies to a little bit every now and then. And I'll tell you what, it's really nice. It's a nice amount. And I'm just love the hobby itself of growing. That's my... I would have to say it's just become a really beautiful hobby, and of course us doing the YouTube is also a hobby for us as well. And we do a scrogless. We keep it scrogless. I know.
Scrogless scrog.
It's a scrogless scrog. They do look like they have scrogs, but they do not. I like to train them, and I have a good time training them. But you guys can just, if you guys were like anything that I'm doing here and want to do any of the same stuff, because we do get all the buds up to the top. We don't mess around with buds going down the stems.
Because why?
Because we don't want any larf. Fuck larf. That's the hashtag. I've learned, maybe I just don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I've learned through my 10 grows, my 5 years of growing, that growing down the stem, I get a lot of larf. I'm not interested in larf for any reason. There's nothing I can't do with really dense buds that I can do with larf.
Yeah, you use, when you infuse your oil or whatever, you use
I'll just break up some good bud for it. I don't need to use larf. I don't need larf in my grow is what I'm trying to tell you guys.
Don't need larf in your life. We don't need to trim it. It's soul destroying.
Trimming larf sucks, and I used to put myself through that, and it was true trim jail. And now I won't even let Miss GrowDaddy help me trim, because I just love trimming the hard, dense nugs. They're really fun to trim. They're
satisfying.
They really are, and we try to get between 5 and 6 ounces in the tent. More than 6 ounces would be preferable per plant.
I don't think we've got more than 6 ounces.
Not much more. Yeah, I've gotten more than 6 ounces a plant, but not since we started growing in this room with this, because I was using more light. Plants looked a little uglier. They had seeds.
They're kind of larfy.
We didn't really look at, we weren't looking at the quality of the bud, but I did grow more than 6 ounces. That's like I think a lot of YouTube grows that I see are growing a lot of larf and not talking about it. They're these beautiful, because you can't tell. They're beautiful buds, and they're beautiful, but you can't tell they're larfy or airy. I love the plant. I love the plant. I love to see other people's grows.
Oh, weed porn, yeah.
Even if they're growing down the stem. And other people, when they grow maybe six stems up. They're not growing, trying to get 50 bud sites. So, maybe they do get hard down those stems, but they're only growing a couple of ounces on a plant. We're trying to get between 5 and 6 ounces of really dense bud on these girls. And it's
a strategy.
Yeah, and this is how we do it. And I get to train them. That's my hobby, you guys. And this is our weekly update of what I did in the tent this week to get to this point. So if you want to follow me, you can go all the way back to the beginning, and I give every single detail.
And we have a spreadsheet.
Spreadsheet is in the description, which gives every deciliter of water, every bit of, what I put in the soil, what kind of soil I use.
Yeah, we have we have tabs at the bottom of the spreadsheet with soil recipes and all of our yields that we record.
And when we change the lights, everything is in that spreadsheet. And what I'm trying to tell you, that we don't have any secrets here. I may not know what I'm doing here.
Oh yeah, please feel free to tell us.
Well, people do feel free to tell us that I don't know what I'm doing.
We're gonna have a new segment at some point.
I don't even want to talk about that. So be kind in the segment. Be kind in the comments, you guys. I urge you to. And of course, our hashtag is no fucking larf. fuck LARF. That's our hashtag. I love it. And yes, absolutely yes. Our timeline in the tent, though, just let you guys know, we're in the 5th week of flower, okay, you guys? And that would be day 31 of flower. So just getting off in the first week of the 5th week. And I'll tell you what, and we're day 97 from the time we, started these as seeds, from seed. And in all truth, they were seedlings for quite a while, for 10 days.
Well, we got the flu, baby.
That's right. I'm just explaining the timeline here, why it's 97 days.
You're so self-conscious. It's so funny. You really get really thin-skinned about that. How long it took. Listen. Well, I got people in the comments telling me these plants busting your balls.
They're taking the piss out of me. They're busting my balls, which I kind of like in a way to some degree, as long as you're respectful. I'm okay with a little bit of that, as long as you're not mean. Everything is intent. I think everything is, I base everything on intent. And some people's intent is to be funny, and they're not, which is probably like me.
Like you.
Like me. And then of course some people's intent is just to fucking be mean and to take the complete piss out of me. And you know what? We're not done with you. We're just not done with you.
Got a surprise for you later.
We really do. So that's the timeline in the tent so far with these girls. And just FYI, you guys, we're synced up with last week's grow. We just looked at, because I was curious where the girls were.
Season 9.
Yeah, season 9, episode 13, right, Mrs. GrowDaddy? Season 9, episode 13 is the exact same place that we are right now.
Day 31 of flower.
Day 31 of flower, where we're at right now, which I think is kind of cool, because we thought, hey, we jump on here and see and just compare, and just compare, and it was kind of cool. You guys can do that too if you guys want to check out last season's grow.
Episode 13 of season 9, and that was also day 31 of flower. And
it's kind of cool to have these videos, isn't it, Miss GrowDaddy? We can kind of go back and look, because I was wondering if these were as big, and then we were looking at the video and going, oh, I don't think they're as big. And we came down here and go, it's about the same. Yeah. We are running and using a Mars Hydro FC 4000 EVO. Thank you, Mars Hydro. They sent me these lights, and they sent me some of this equipment, the tents and the fans. I'm gonna shout out again to you, Mars Hydro. Thank you very much. That I tell you where I hang the lights. Okay, we're hanging at 16 inches. We've always hung them at 18 because we had the bar style light in here last season, and we hung at 18 inches just so we could get the canopy, so we could get the par spread out on the canopy a little.
Like even distribution of the light, like the smaller or like the thinner your light or whatever, the more you're going to get. The
smaller your light, it's a little harder to get it broadcasted, so you bring it up in your tent.
Yeah.
And there's even YouTubers that I've heard out there, quite a few YouTubers that say take your lights to the top of the tent. Well, when you do that, you better be prepared to, turn up the dial and waste some electricity. I've never really had my lights above 18 inches. I always thought it was kind of wasteful to do that. So at any rate, we're using these bar style lights because they almost fit the tent. We're able to hang these at 15 inches and get the same kind of canopy spread. If I wanted a better spread on the canopy, and I do have more power, if I wanted to hang these at 18 inches and turn them up a little bit more. But I'll tell you what, wherever I hang my lights at, you could hang them at 18 inches and use the same watts, and you'd be, because it's only a matter of a couple inches, so not a big, huge difference on your par. Might be about 50, maybe 50 par more or 100 par more. Not much, not a big add on the par. So feel free to hang them anywhere from 18 to 16 inches if you don't know where the hell to hang your lights, which is a big clue, because I'll tell you what, when I was looking, I remember when I first started growing, they were hanging lights and not talking about par or where you were hanging your lights. You may not have a par meter. This is your first grow. You don't want to necessarily buy a par meter. They're expensive.
They're expensive, but you know what they could get? A watt meter.
Oh, that's true. That's right. We use a watt meter, and I tell you where my lights are in watts, so everybody can follow me no matter what light you're using, because they're all generally about the same as what I'm trying to say. So there's a lot of different lights out there. If you're using the watts, they're going to give about the same par on top of your canopy. I'm just telling, for you guys that are here trying to figure out where to put your lights, you can go through all my grows in the last couple seasons and go to the description, and it'll tell you where I hung them and at how many watts I was using. And these watt meters are less than $20, and they'll tell you when.
It's a bargain.
It's a bargain because we've had lights fail, and you would not be able to see it. So the watt meter allowed us to be able to know that it was fluctuating quite a bit.
And you get a better idea of where you're at than if you use the dimmer switches, because the dimmer, like the dimmer dials, the dimmer switches.
Yeah, they're a little different. Like this one's let's say this one's at 80, like beyond 75%, and this one's right on 75. So you can't you can get close with the dial, but you really can't get it. And we're actually using 280 watts on each of these lights right now, and that's what we're up to, running 12-12, our flower cycle. So 12 hours on, 12 hours off, 15 to 16 inches, but probably more like I'm trying to keep them at 16 inches right now. And like I said, if you have a smaller light that you're using, one of the older style bargain lights, maybe go up to 18 inches, and you could crank it up a little more or leave it just where it's at. It's going to do just fine there. Plus, watch your leaves, you guys. We talked about that. Get the light about where you want it, and then watch your leaves. And if they're doing this, if they're slumped over like this, that means you got the light up too high. And those lights, they're slumped over like this.
They're trying to get their little edges away from the light. They're trying to hide.
But tomorrow, those same leaves are going to start to turn yellow. They're going to start to curl more. Maybe they'll start to taco. They'll start doing other things, but the first sign is it's weeping. And I'll tell you what, it might do this if you've overwatered or underwatered your girls as well. So make sure your watering game is tight, and then you'll know what the hell the girls are telling you about the light, right? That's all I'm trying to say to you guys. We're running about, so we're at 280 watts, hanging 16 inches, and we are 800 par. Now that's kind of an average. You go around the tent. Some are 750, some are 850. You know, it's kind of an average of what I'm getting for canopy.
Yeah.
And my leaves, I got some leaves praying, some leaves laying flat. And we were talking about that. If your leaves are kind of flat, that's not bad either. They're telling you they can handle a little bit more light. And if they're praying, they're telling you that's too much light. Or, you know,
they're telling you that they're at full tilt.
Yeah, like but the reason why they're up here like this, according to what the what do you call them, botanists? According to what the botanists say, when your leaves are up like this, what they're doing is that they don't want to be flat and catching every little ray of light.
Yeah.
They're taking some of the light off of them, and that's why they're up like this.
And they're transpiring, I think. I think it has something to do with being the transpiring. It's kind of like stretching their little leaves up.
I don't think so, Mrs. GoDaddy. Hey, we disagree like this all the time, you guys. But you see how nice we are to each other?
I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
She really doesn't. She's a backseat grower, totally.
I'm a backseat grower.
That's right. And we are up to 34 DLI in the tent for you of those that care. It's
daily
information.
Light integral?
Yeah, daily light integral. Don't need to know. It's like I said, it just doesn't even fucking matter, right, Mrs. GoDaddy? So listen, you guys, that was what we did in the tent for light this week. And I'll tell you what, we do run conservatively with everything, especially the lights, because one thing I found, if you're using too much lights, if you're not paying attention, lights are great because they really can help your buds get big and give you some dense stuff. But they can also give you guys some seeds. They can hermy. And I found my plants doing that when I was running too much light, trying to follow some of the YouTube growers that are growing with, well, they're growing with, like let me give a for instance, and I was told not to talk about, Jeremy from, Build a Soil. Somebody told me in the comments.
Get his name out your mouth.
Yeah, somebody told me to get my name out of his mouth because I wasn't good enough grower to mention him. But let me just say that Jeremy was using 1,000 par on his canopy, and he has a different looking canopy than mine. He's got flowers way down here. He's got flowers way up here. So his canopy, so he's not getting 1,000. He's not getting 1,000 par on his canopy. He's getting 1,000 par on the top buds, but he's getting.
Yeah, down there they'd be getting.
He's getting 400 par maybe down here. Mm-hmm. So maybe he's getting an average of 800 par in his tent. Maybe. Ours is all flat. Mm-hmm. So we're getting pretty much the same on everything.
Easier for us to calculate.
So when I hear guys using a lot of par in their tent, he's not running CO2 or anything. So when I hear about guys that are running, a really high par on the top of the canopy, well, look at their canopy. It's not flat, so they're not all getting that 1,000 par. Some are getting 400 par. Some are getting it comes to an average of maybe 750, 800 par.
Like ours.
And like a lot of grows where you have just absolutely flat canopies, you'll see them running at probably 750, 800 pars. Mm-hmm. Anyways, I just want to throw that in there. Our next segment is going to be about water, and I'm going to tell you everything. I mean, I'm going to tell you everything about the watering in this tent this week. And I'll tell you what, I'm very excited to talk to you guys about it because I'll tell you what, these girls are drinking water this week and they're making Daddy very, very happy. Do you know how when your children eat, you're feeling so proud of them?
Oh, I know. I'm a feeder.
Yeah, but when you see your children eat, all you know is they're getting bigger and they're becoming bigger and they're just they're growing and they're
healthy.
And it's the same thing with these girls. Is when you give them water and nutrients. That's all you want them to do is eat and drink as much as they can. And these girls really are, because I'll tell you what, we do a daily average of water I put on these guys. I told you guys, and it's all down in the description in the spreadsheet if you guys want to look for all the details. But we put everything in that spreadsheet that we possibly can. Heather is receiving 2.2 liters a day.
Average.
Average, which isn't bad. Our girls from last season were receiving 2.5, by the way. Yeah, we watched that video this morning, so I know what they were getting. They were getting 2.5. Fern, 2.4, so she's really close. So they're close to the other girls, what they were last season at this point. And I'll tell you what, 1.9 for Sage. Okay, not bad. I think our runt in the tent last week was getting, our runt in the tent last season was getting, which was Ruby, right? Was Ruby our runt?
No, it was Honor.
Honor. It seems like we have a runt. We have one runt in our tent every single season.
You don't need to use the R word. It's like
the R word.
The underdog.
Let me tell you what. The R word is becoming more acceptable these days. I'm going to tell you that. I hear a lot of comedians just throwing that word out there now. The big R word. I'm not going to. I don't feel comfortable. I might get canceled, so I'm not going to say it.
So what's little Sage?
Sage is getting 1.9, which isn't bad. She's drinking. She looks healthy. They all look so healthy.
What was our underdog? What was?
I think she was getting 2. I think.
Oh,
but
yeah.
who was our underdog? Who was
Honor.
That's right, Wham. That from Rocket Seas. I think she might have been getting 2. Pretty close. But another shorty, another, but she brought it. She brought some in the end. We got a nice little bag of buds from her, and they were all as hard as rocks. Ivy on the end, though, outdoing everything, outdoing everybody.
I think she's
2.7. 2.7 liters of water a day is her average.
That might be a record, and I think she's the biggest plant we've ever had.
She is absolutely gorgeous, and I can't wait to show you guys all the girls. The girls, by the way, the girls have been waiting to see you guys all week. I mean, they're getting to the point where all they want to do is show off. It's like getting a boob job, right? You get a boob job. Here, feel them. Feel them. Look. I mean, what is that? Well, these girls got a little bit of that going on, where they're coming into their own, as they say.
They're getting towards full bloom.
Yeah.
They're blooming.
And one more segment we're going to talk about today is going to be our VPD, which is vapor pressure deficit. And here's the chart right here. This is the chart. There's lots of VPD charts out there. And you've got to have the plant-specific chart. And you're not going to pull up a chart that says cannabis. You're just not going to. But this chart right here is what everybody's been passing around for years. It's the cannabis chart, what people use. It could be good for tomatoes and peppers too.
Yeah, I think that tomatoes and peppers, they kind of use that kind of information. They grow similarly, don't they? Very
similar climates, and they grow very similar. So I'm kind of guessing that maybe they use the same chart. So anyways, a VPD is nothing more than, and I know I repeat this stuff every week, you guys, and I know I sound like a parrot, but we got new subscribers, new people coming and watching the show. And it's just
true. They need to know what.
And I know, and I just feel like everything's kind of doing this, so I got to keep on repeating everything because people come and people go, and we get new people. But at any rate, vapor pressure deficit is nothing more than
it's a sweet spot.
It's a sweet spot with your humidity and temperature, and this chart will tell you where the best place to be is with your humidity and temperature. And
chances are, depending on what climate you are in, you are going to have an easier time controlling one or the other.
True.
Like temperature or humidity.
Yeah, I mean, you run your air conditioner, it's gonna take humidity out, and you got to add humidity. It's just everybody's got different issues, different problems, right? Yeah. Well, I'm just going to point you towards a chart that tells you, what you might be able to do. You might be able to lower your temperature or raise your temperature or lower your humidity range. Whatever you have better control of in your grow room, you might to to put it in the zone, the sweet spot, as we like to say, because it'll help your girls photosynthesize, which will help your girls grow. And what I always like to say is if you are taking care of your girls and giving them the right light and you're giving them the right amount of water, these girls are going to look healthy no matter what. They just may grow a little slower if they don't have the exact right climate they need. They're weeds, you guys. We baby them and we love them. Yes, yes, we do. We do. We love them. We love them. I mean, I don't know what it's like to have 20. I might not love them. You know what I'm saying? But I only have 4.
That
right?
would be a lot of like little name cards.
I have 4, and I'll tell you what, they all got names, and I know all of them. I know all their names, and I'll tell you what, we come down here and we spend time together every day, just the 5 of us. Just Daddy and his girls. We spend time down here, and it's just wonderful, and I'm so glad I don't have 20 plants that I don't remember who's who or what's what. We're just down to 4. So
we could pick these girls out of a... I was wondering when you were going to do that.
Give you a little toss? Okay. So at any rate, you guys, we're right now running at, we're trying to, I didn't even get to it in our VPD section, but we're actually running, trying not to get it over 78 degrees, between 75 and 78. That would be ideal temperatures in here, and that's what we're trying to keep it at. And we're doing a good job at it. And we're also trying to get our humidity down to 50 and below. I mean, I'm having, 55, maybe 50. I've got my dehumidifier running 24/7.
Yeah, full tilt. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have to crack my door, which is allowing
drier air.
No, wetter air, which is keeping my dehumidifier going. You understand what I'm saying?
Is the air out there?
A little bit. I mean, a little bit. So my dehumidifier is going 24/7, and I'm keeping the humidity in the tents down below 50 and 45, 50, probably somewhere around there. Trying my best. Doing the best I can in my grow.
To stay in the sweet spot.
To stay in the sweet spot, and that would probably be around 50, 45 would be the sweet spot. So we're trying to get as close to that as we can so the girls are loving life all the time. That is our VPD, and that would be between, Miss Groda, you do this every time, it says 75 to 80 degrees.
Oh, I forgot to fix it.
We don't want 80 degrees in our tents, and it says between 24 and 27 Celsius.
To update
that means
again.
27 Celsius is 80 degrees. That is unacceptable, Mrs. Grodaddy. Unacceptable. So I will guess and say you want it between 24 and 26 Celsius, right?
That sounds correct. Yeah. And
yeah.
You know what? I feel like I've got pretty good job security around here.
You do. And just to finalize, and just to let, it's a little note here, kilopascals approximately question mark, which means we don't give a rat's ass what kilopascal we're at, but
it is around between.
I don't want my growers that come see me to be any dumber than me. I want them to be just as smart as me, and I want them to know what those numbers on that are. And they're called kilopascals or kPAs. So if you're referring to your other growing buddies out there and saying, hey, what are your kPAs?
What kPA are you running?
What kPA are you running in your tent? Because you hear this every now and then. And somebody could tell me their kPA in the tent and I wouldn't have any idea what they're talking about. Just tell me what your temperature and humidity is, and we'll be able to have a nice conversation about our plants that day.
We could pull out a calculator and figure it out.
I'm not even going to do it. But I want you guys to know, because I want you to sound smart when somebody brings it up. I want you guys to know what they're talking about. So that is our
week in review.
That's our environment. I'm getting creative, Mrs. Grodaddy. That one kind of got hung up there. So at any rate, you guys, that is what we did in the tent this week as far as, everything in the tent this week, if you guys are following along. Let's take a look at our weed porn segment, because that's when we go through the tent, give you guys a really close look at the buds. And I got to be honest with you guys right now, it's getting a little boring in here.
Mir ist langweilig an dieser Stelle. Uns nicht. Ich komme hier runter und gieße. Ich schaue sie mir irgendwie an. Ich bin gut. Weißt du was? Ich trage oft meine spiegelnden Sonnenbrillen, wenn ich hier runterkomme, damit die Mädchen nicht sehen, worauf ich schaue. Ja, es hat funktioniert. Sie wissen es nicht. Sie sehen die unheimlichen Augen nicht.
So it's getting a little boring in here right now because we're just entering a time, getting into week 5 of flower. Not getting a lot of buds to pinch off anymore.
Not a lot of tasks down
Not
there.
a lot of tasks. I come down here and water, close up the tent, make sure the light's running right and everything's kind of working, make sure my dehumidifier is working, and then I just go like this and
You gotta talk.
I go back upstairs. No, even talking to them, the girls have reached a certain time in the tent. They don't even really want to talk to me anymore. But I know, you know what? Towards the end, they'll want to talk to me. They'll be talking to me then because you know they're gonna want to drive. You know they're gonna want their car. You know they're gonna want a car for their birthday or their graduation, right, or something. Yeah, we'll give them a car, won't we, Mrs. GoDaddy? We're going to give them a car.
They think that their little universe is going to continue forever, but it does.
You know, no. At the end, when they start going through their senescence, though, they know they're dying. They do. They feel it, and they feel the end coming. So there's and then they come back around to me and they start talking to me, Dad. So tell me about those old stories from when you were a kid. You know, they want to hear some stories so they can pass them on.
Who was Lakshmi, Daddy?
Yeah, who was Lakshmi? But let's get to our weed porn segment because that's what you've all been waiting for. Because it's that time. It's that time in the grow where our weed porn segment is actually something to go look at. So let's go check out the girls. Let's go to see tent 1. Come on. Welcome to our weed porn segment, you guys. We've made it. We've made it to tent 1, and this is where we have Heather and Fern. Fern is our TERPYZ Afghan Kosher, and Heather is our Shiskaberry from Rocket Seeds on the left. I'll tell you what, these girls look absolutely amazing. They're starting to frost up, and I'll tell you what, they're just absolutely beautiful, and they've got so many buds. So many buds. Let's take a close look at Heather. Hello, Heather. Heather is our Shiskaberry from Rocket Seeds. And I'll tell you what, she's looking absolutely amazing with all those bud sites up on top. I think we're going to count them up here pretty soon. She looks beautiful though, doesn't she, guys? Look at all these buds. They're just everywhere. I mean, it's, you know, out of all the girls, and I don't know if it's, I think it might be because of the color. She's got some darker leaves, so the ice is really showing up on these girls. Look at the ice on these girls this week. There's a lot of, she's getting a lot of trichomes. Ooh. Yeah, icing up really nice. The color of the leaves really helps, I think, too. I don't know. I think she's the iciest one in here, you know, for the most part, or at least looks like she's the iciest one in here. She's very, very, very beautiful and looking really good. A lot of bud sites on her. As you can see, let me just give you a good idea, too, and to give you kind of a sample of what they're looking like. Now, see this one right here? Look at this one. Look at that one. Look at that bud. Do you see this one down here? I might take that one off. I think I'm taking this lower one off.
Show me.
Right here.
Show us.
It's that one.
There,
so now step back so you can see the whole bud, what I'm doing. Now it looks like that. And I think I'm taking this lower one off. I probably...
Ballsy move.
Yeah, and I took the leaf off by accident. That was very rough of me and I shouldn't have done that. I'm so sorry. It is. But for the most part, I've got everything pretty much looking nice, and you can see everything's clipped off on the bud. So we've got the top ones only, and this one went down a little bit ways. Couple of them I've went down a little ways on them. You can see that's going to be a nice little. Yeah.
You let that one go a little.
I let a couple of them go a little further.
Is that going to be larf? That's
well, I'll tell you what. You know what I always say in every grow? I will never do it again. Every grow, I say.
It's true.
It's hard going up to the top. I just don't want larf so bad. You just never know what you're going to get. But I'll tell you what. Heather, you're looking really fine. Oh man, you are.
You're smelling your fingers.
I'm smelling my finger. Oh, you smell so good. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's check out Fern, our Afghan Kosher, in the tent. Come on. Hello, Fern. Fern is our Afghan Kosher from TERPYZ Mutant Genetics. And I gotta be honest with you, she is gorgeous. I hate to say this, but Mrs. GoDaddy's favorite. Yeah.
You're not supposed to say that right.
But just get on the top of this bud right here. Get up on top and look at it. You're more on top. You're kind of on the side.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, like there. Look at this. Here, let me see it. Let me get a good picture. Look at how these are they're just beautiful. Oh my goodness gracious. Here you go, Miss GoDaddy. Take the camera. Take the camera. I'm a horrible camera person. I just love her leaf structures and
yeah.
I mean, look at this bud right here, Mrs. GoDaddy. Look at this one back here. Now, we went quite a ways down on this one. Look at that big, huge honker she's going to be.
Stacking.
She's stacking. She's looking beautiful. That's like 4th or 5th node down. Maybe a little too far. We'll find out.
Might get larfy.
But you know what? She's one of the thick-stemmed. I've got a couple of them over here too, Mrs. GoDaddy, in the tent. See, they got big, thick stems and they're bigger, and I went down. Let them go down a little further. Look at her. She's going to be another one.
Yeah.
There's a couple of them, but for the most part, they're all pretty much trimmed to the top. See, look at these. Look at these in the front.
And
Mrs.
your
Grodaddy.
logic is that if the stem is quite thick, it could probably support a bigger bud.
Well, I just think there's more nutrients and more water and everything going to them if the stem's thicker. And some of them are more like main stems. And I just feel, I don't know. This is part of the art is doing and seeing how it comes out, but
making decisions.
I feel like I didn't go down, you know, I feel like I didn't take off enough on some of these nodes, and it may come back to bite me in the ass. We will find out. But I'll tell you what, you're looking beautiful, Fern. Look at you. You're just absolutely gorgeous. Just like your sister there and next to you and Heather. Gorgeous. Let's go take a look at tent 2 though, because we got 2 girls over there that well, what can I say? They need some camera time. Come on. Hey guys, we made it. We made it to tent 2. This is tent 2, you guys. Tent 2 is looking really good, and of course it's full of buds. We have sage and we have ivy. Ivy's our Shiskaberry and sage is our Chemy Lemmy. And these girls are looking absolutely awesome. Look at poor Sage. Let's take a close look at poor Sage. Hello, Sage. Sage is our Chemy Lemmy from Nectar Genetics, and she didn't give us a good stretch.
She did not.
She didn't give us a good stretch, and she's been kind of, well, she's been a little smaller than the rest the whole grow, so we almost expected it out of her. But I'll tell you what, her buds are smelling really good, and also they are developing and looking really good. And we have a lot of them, as you guys can see.
Yeah.
We haven't got the bud count yet, but I think we've got at least 4 ounces of top shelf bud growing on top of her for sure. Even though she's a runt, we got to make every single girl happen in here, and she's got lots of trichomes building up on her, and she's looking very, very nice. I'll tell you what, I'll take her. I don't care.
She's normal. She's little, but she's not like deformed or weird or anything
Well,
like that.
I spread her out a little bit in the tent this week to give her a little air, and I really see, come down here and look, Mrs. Grodaddy. Look what I had to do to her, okay? I had to do this to her because she just was so bushy. Do you see all the the way around. I've got them on the back. All the way around her. I had to pull all the stems apart so I could get some air in there and get her breathing, which is perfect. She's looking really, really good right now. All of her buds are getting light, and she's got some light coming through the canopy. She looks great. She's on path to giving us some really nice buds. You're looking really good. I don't care, Sage. I know somebody out there is rooting for you, because that's what we do. We love to root for underdogs. And Ruby was an absolute beast. She stole the show. She was a couple grows ago. She was one of our runts, and she ended up being the best bud in the tent, and she got us
best yield.
She got us like 5 ounces or something, right?
I can't remember.
She was also a good yielder for her size. She did really good. I think what you're looking at back there is probably the biggest bud she has.
I think that's maybe.
Oh no, that's the other one.
Ivy.
That's from Ivy. Stop looking at Ivy's buds. pretending.
That's fake news.
Pretending they're sages. Stop pretending. Let's take a close look at Ivy right now, because I'll tell you what, she is just dying. She's dying to show you what she looks like this week, but she's looking absolutely beautiful. Hello, Ivy. Ivy is our Shiskaberry from Rocket Seeds. We have 2 of them. We have one in this tent and one in the other tent, and I'll tell you what, Ivy has just grown up to be a monster. She's been bigger than everybody. She's taken up 3/4 of the tent, which we needed in the tent, because I'll tell you what, sage is just too small of a plant. We needed a plant that was going to kill it in here, and I'll tell you what, Ivy, she's taken up 3/4 of this tent.
Thank you, Ivy.
Thank you, Ivy, for really taking it up and looking absolutely gorgeous. Because you just look absolutely gorgeous. We've got a couple buds that we've really let go down on the stem on this one too. But for the most part, she's trimmed up to the top for the most part. Let me show you some of the stuff we're doing in here, Mrs. Grodaddy. So here's where we trimmed up to. Look, it's just a small little bud. Look, here's my finger next to it. Let me put my finger next to it, and you can kind of get a good idea of how big it is.
Yeah.
It's not very big, right?
No.
No, it's not very big. Just a small bud. We've got a couple of them though in the back. I think
let them stack up a little.
This one got a little stacky, but none of them are too big in here. I would say none of them are too stacky. Yeah, we've just really did a good job trimming up to the top.
You know what? We've come a long way, Grodaddy, since when we remember the small bud syndrome and how we freaked out and worried, and that was like one of our best grows.
Yeah, I don't have small bud syndrome anymore, because small buds mean small, dense buds. And dense buds are heavier,
And they add up. They add up.
And they do add up when you get 40 or 50 of them up on the top like we're doing. We're gonna count. We're gonna have a bud count for you guys next week. So stay tuned for the episode next week. We will have a bud count, and I'll be able to tell you. I got a feeling Ivy has over 50 buds. I do. I have a feeling she has over 50. I mean, we could guess. This. Maybe we'll put up a thing in the comment section so they can guess how many bud sites these girls have. Yeah, some kind of a poll, because I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. But all the girls have a lot of bud sites up on top. We're really happy with all the trichome development that they've all had. They're right on. They're spot on for day 53, right? Day 53 today, I believe it was.
Day 31 of flower.
Oh, day 31 of flower, and they're spot on to our grow last season, because we were looking at that. And that is episode 13 on our 9th season. It's day 31 on that grow as well, and you can get a good look at. They all look really good. So everything's looking great. That is our weed point, girls. Thank you, you girls, for coming and really giving us a good show today. You guys are just absolutely beautiful, and you're just as cute as hell. Love you guys, and you guys too down here. You guys absolutely are killing it down in tent 1. Aw, my little girls. They're just absolutely beautiful, you guys. Thank you for coming. I'm telling you what, that's our weed porn segment, you guys. I'm out. Come on. Thank you guys for coming for another. Yeah. Yeah, look at this. It's epic. It's epic. It's absolutely beautiful and epic. And the girls, oh yeah, you're epic. All you girls are epic. You're all just so cute. The girls are absolutely beautiful, and they're just gonna be more beautiful every single week. And these girls, I'll tell you what, they've been waiting all week to see you guys. And these are 4 happy girls to come out and to play today and to see you guys. And they told me to tell you guys, they think you guys look marvelous. They really do. They said, don't stop looking. They'd say you guys are beautiful. You guys are beautiful. And they wanted me to thank you guys for coming by for another weekly update in the tent. Really appreciate you guys. Don't forget, we got bloopers on the end if you want to watch them. Love you guys. We'll see you in episode 13 next week. Love you guys. Come on. I'm out.
Is it in?
Is it in yet?
Is it in? Okay, sorry.
Hey everybody, I'm Grow Daddy, aka Patrick, and welcome. Hey everybody, welcome. Hey everybody, I'm Grow Daddy, aka Patrick, and welcome to the Grow Channel. Here we go. All right.
You're on.
Okay. Hey everybody.
Welcome to our weed porn segment. What are you doing?
Just, I'm messing with everything. Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Looks like we made it, you guys. We're at 10. Looks like we made it. Looks like you guys. Tent 2, we're here. Finally, we're here at tent 2. And these girls are really looking forward to you. Okay.
I wasn't ready for that. All right.
Woo! Yeah! Come on! That was it.